Don't retire abroad. Today, we'll be looking at things you need to do with your CPP, OAS, and RRSP before you leave Canada and retire abroad. One of the biggest mistakes Canadian retirees make when moving abroad is mismanaging their CPP, OAS, and RRSP benefits. And this oversight could cost them thousands in unnecessary taxes and lost payments. Over our years advising Canadian retirees, we've seen how proper planning with these benefits before leaving Canada can make or break a retirement. Well, that's exactly why we're making this video today, to show you the critical steps you need to take with your Canadian benefits before starting your retirement abroad. Let's get right into it.
So we'll get started with the Canada Pension Plan, and CPP for short. So the Canada Pension Plan is portable to many different countries through international social security agreements, and it provides a lot of flexibility for Canadians while living abroad. And Canadian pensioners can collect their CPP in over 50 different countries. There's a pretty extensive list that is available on the CRA website. And as long as your individuals are maintaining, a valid social insurance number and they can provide, some proof that they are eligible, then absolutely they should be able to receive their income while living abroad. Now, what needs to be known as well is CPP income does remain taxable in Canada and may be subject to additional foreign tax rules. Again, every country is going to have their own individual tax treaties between Canada and that country. So it is important to speak with even a cross-border accountant to see what the taxable implication may impact to you. And I guess another risk that needs to be considered as well, or could even be a benefit to some people, is those exchange rate fluctuations. Or for some people where maybe the exchange is more in their favor, it might be a pretty good thing to have Canada Pension Plan coming to you and then being converted into your home currency. So it's going to impact how CPP is going to be taxed and how those benefits are received, but to each their own, it's going to be to some benefit. Now, we can only cover what you should do with your CPP in so much detail here today, but since retiring abroad is such a much more complicated topic, we want to make sure you don't walk away from this video without any unanswered questions. So that's why we want to offer you a complimentary call where we'll answer all of your questions and help you plan for a successful retirement abroad. Click the link below to book.
Well, that covers CPP. Now for the other government pension, old age security. Now, old age security is not a contributory plan. It's something that you do receive for having a certain number of years living in Canada. Now, old age security benefits can be collected internationally, but there are many restrictions that may require careful navigation through the countries that you're collecting in. So paperwork, documentation may need to be provided. And also, I mentioned to qualify for old age security, individuals must have at least 10 years in Canada before being eligible to receive the benefit at age 65. So there is a minimum residency requirement before you can collect. Now, old age security benefits are subject to potential clawback if worldwide income exceeds a specific amount. So when you are claiming your old age security in the country of residence, want to make sure that that income stays below that clawback threshold. And OAS recipients must continue filing Canadian tax returns to maintain eligibility even when they're living outside of Canada. So if you are living outside of Canada, you have to make sure, does it make sense to be continuing to file your income tax to receive old age security benefits? Another note about OAS is that if you have a consecutive 6 months out of the country, the OAS benefits will stop. In order to restart them, you have to prove residency in Canada. So for those snowbirds out there, that's why you can only stay outside the country for 6 months or less. You have to go back to Canada to prove residency in order for your OAS benefits to start.
Yeah, so very good points there, Carlo. I mean, OAS is going to be very similar to CPP in a sense in terms of how you begin to receive that. The third leg of your retirement income is going to be RSP or RIF, I guess, when you get to beyond the age of 71. And a lot of people are curious as to when you take that money out, how's it going to differ when you're abroad? The biggest thing is going to be taxation. So it's going to vary by country that you're choosing to live in, but typically taxation on RSPs and RIFs, it'll be about 25%. And in some cases, it may create interesting double taxation kind of rules where you have to pay that tax in Canada and potentially based on your retirement destination country. Now, some of these countries may have tax treaties. So a lot of prominent ones like in the UK or the US will have tax treaties where it will benefit for Canadians. It's important to understand what these tax treaties are and just get a good understanding from maybe even speaking with an accountant as well to figure out what taxable implications you may be able to run into. Again, a lot of good free information would be available on the CRA website if need be. When you have these RRSPs and RSPs while in different countries, it is going to have some limitations in terms of restrictions, maybe in terms of your investment opportunity or what you're able to change or do within the RSP and RIF account. So to effectively manage your retirement funds from cross borders, it's also important to understand your international banking solutions and what options you would have out there to properly receive the money from Canada to these other countries. Now, each one of these countries are going to have their own rules and regulations in terms of money coming in from international sources. So every situation is going to be a little bit different as well.
Now that you know the critical steps for handling your Canadian benefits, you can better plan your retirement abroad. However, between navigating foreign tax systems, managing exchange rate risks, and structuring your withdrawals for maximum efficiency, proper planning can save you from costly mistakes that could force you back to Canada. If you want to further optimize your retirement abroad plan, click this first link in the description to book a complimentary call with us. We'll see you in the next one.